Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for stopping by for another video. Today's episode, we're going to take a look at some awesome Shohei Ohtani cards that I have picked up during the early part of the Major League Baseball season here. Really excited to get to these. He's been a blast to collect, and he's making history on the field, as anyone who's been watching the games knows. And I have some really awesome Ohtani cards. I think some of my favorites in my collection that I've picked up to date to get to today. But before we turn the camera around and get to those, just a quick bit of housekeeping. Did want to let everybody know, if you're waiting to hear back from me and I've been delayed, I can't get into the details of it, but I have been selected for jury duty on a pretty serious criminal case that's potentially going to go a few weeks. It's already gone this entire week and is clearly going to go into next week after the holiday. So I can't say any more than that, except that if you've sent me a package, which a few of you very amazing people have done, and you haven't heard back from me, or if I just haven't returned a message, or I'm slower to get back to you, or posting less videos than I typically do, everything is all right here. It's just this is taking a tremendous amount of my time and energy, and I really haven't had a lot of time for the hobby. It may be that way for another couple weeks, so just hang in there. I promise I will get back to you. And in the meantime, let's flip this camera around and look at some Shohei cards. Thanks. All right, so here we are with a nice Shohei backdrop, and I've got a stack, as you can see, small stack here of 5 graded Ohtani cards, none of which I've shown on the channel before. So I have shown Shohei Ohtani cards, including the 3 that you see in the background there, and a handful of others over time. Really got into collecting them this past off season before the start of the baseball season or even the World Baseball Classic. Just seemed to me, and I know I'm certainly not alone in this, not claiming to be Nostradamus here, but it seemed to me after looking at his last 2 seasons, 2021 and 2022, that he could have easily been the AL MVP in both of those seasons. He did win in 2021. Of course, last year, Aaron Judge won. Largely for breaking Roger Maris's home run record. And while I can't argue with the league awarding judge or the writers awarding judge with the MVP, because that was an amazing feat, I think you could just as easily make a case that Ohtani should have won, or that he had even a better season than Aaron Judge. So coming into this year, was obviously quite excited about the prospects for his season, and he has lived up to the hype here. As we approach the All-Star break and the July 4th holiday here in midsummer. So that's enough gabbing. Let's just get to the cards. I'm going to go through them in order from my least to most favorite, although I love all of them. And especially the last 2 that we're going to get to are really kind of monster Ohtani cards that I'm very excited to show off. But let's do the first 3. This is from the 2019 Top set. This is the rainbow foil parallel of his pitching card, card number 600. So I've talked about this before, as have many others, but one of the great things about Topps and the way that they've handled Ohtani being a sort of historic dual threat is they've included pitching and batting images of him in the flagship set in multiple years. And I just think that is really cool. I think it's a great job by Topps dedicating a card in the base set to Ohtani for each of those talents, because he really is a unique player, and nobody really since Babe Ruth has contributed on both sides of the ball to the extent that Ohtani has. So I picked up this rainbow foil recently, actually. This is probably one of the more recent Ohtani cards I picked up, only about a week or 2 back, and while this is not numbered, I was nonetheless surprised to find this with the Rookie Cup from 2019, and to win it for around $30. May have been 31, don't recall exactly, but a pretty cheap pickup. And of course, with the season that he's having, it's getting harder and harder to acquire his cards at a reasonable rate. Although I still think when you look at what he's doing in the context of baseball history, even the current rates could be considered, if not a bargain, certainly still a great time to buy Shohei Ohtani cards, even though he is probably more expensive now than he's maybe been at any point in his career. So next up is a card that I've shown numerous times in other versions, and that is the 2022 Topps Update Combo Card MVP Caliber, which features Ohtani and Trout. So I love combo cards like many collectors. I hear that frequently, that theme. And just like I like the vintage cards from the 50s that Topps did featuring the stars of the day, I enjoy the modern takes on them as well. And there's perhaps no combo card that I like better than this one from the last few years, because these are two of my favorite players in baseball and two of the best baseball players on the planet. Just love the photo here. And as you can plainly tell as I've been gabbing away, this is the Topps Gold parallel version of this card. So it is, of course, serial numbered to the year of production, being a Topps Gold. So we have copy 1538 of 2022 in the upper right corner. Just loving this card. I have the Topps Black version of this, which is much scarcer and harder to obtain. But I do love the golds, such as this 2019 batting gold that you see up in the background there. Huge fan of Topps Gold. It has close to a 25-year legacy now as a parallel, and you just can't go wrong with these. So I was very, very excited to be able to take this home for around the same cost, I believe, as the rainbow foil that we just looked at a moment ago. The other three cards that we're going to look at were slightly more expensive, particularly the last two cards. But the next one is one that I was just so excited to find because these are not easy to locate, even though they're not numbered. So I've gone on record numerous times as saying that I'm a huge fan of Topps Stadium Club Baseball, going all the way back to its inaugural release in 1991, and I still enjoy the present day sets. In recent years, about 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago now, I don't really know exactly when off the top of my head, they started to introduce chrome inserts. They're close to parallels. You could call them parallels, you could call them inserts, but effectively they are chrome versions of the Stadium Club base card. Now, in very recent years, they've created a whole separate standalone Stadium Club chrome set. But prior to that, for a few years, the only way to get a Stadium Club chrome card was as an insert or parallel in standard Stadium Club. And that was certainly the case in 2018, which was Ohtani's rookie season. And as you can probably tell where this is leading, found a seller who listed a copy of that 2018 Stadium Club, the chrome insert of the rookie of Shohei Ohtani. This is when, obviously, he had just signed in the United States with the Angels. This photo is from a press conference held shortly after his signing. You can see like the Major League Baseball bunting in the background. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of cards that depict players off the field or off the court, off the ice, doing something other than participating in the activity, especially if they're wearing like a shirt and tie. So normally, this is not the type of card that I would go for, but I made an exception for two reasons. I'm a huge fan of Stadium Club, and I'm a huge fan of these Stadium Club chrome inserts in particular. And the opportunity to get a player of this magnitude from his rookie year already graded in the price that I got this at was just too good to pass up. In 2018, when these came out, you only received one of these chrome inserts per hobby box of Stadium Club Baseball. And there were 90 players on the checklist. So if you do some quick math, there is only one Ohtani chrome Stadium Club chrome rookie card, like the one you're seeing here, in every 90 hobby boxes of 2018 Topps Stadium Club Baseball. So 1 in 90 hobby boxes is pretty tough. These are not easy to find. If you've looked for these early Stadium Club chrome inserts from 2018 or 2019, you know that there are times when you just can't find one, period. And so when this popped up, despite my reservations, and about the image and about it not being my favorite image on an Ohtani card, as a Stadium Club fan and a fan of scarcity and a fan of chromium, I just couldn't pass this up. So I'm really, really happy that I was able to locate this one and add that to the collection. And now let's get to the two, as the kids would say, bangers. The first one is, I think, the first card that I ever purchased via Instagram. I have typically in the past used in-person purchases, ComC, eBay, Sportlots, MySlabs, your typical online locations for purchasing cards. And I know a lot of friends that have had success on Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms buying cards. I'm not on many of those platforms, but I do have an Instagram account that I've used to kind of talk people off eBay in the past and and work some side deals. And I want to give a shout out here to my buddy Kin over at Bean's Ball Card blog here on YouTube. He hit me up and kind of found a card, or had a card that he knew someone that was looking to sell it, and he thought that it might be a good fit for my collection. So he sent me some photos of the card, immediately told him that I was highly interested, and he gave me the Instagram name of his friend who was attempting to sell it. Long story short, a little bit of back and forth. We worked out a deal, and I brought home this monster. This is one of my favorite parallels in the modern Topps canon, the Independence Day parallel from 2019. It's another combo card here. This is the Pacific Power Ohtani and Trout Celebrate Home Run combo card on the Independence Day Topps parallel. Look at that beautiful red, extremely patriotic card. I fell in love with this the moment that I saw the image for this card. Don't recall having seen this particular card in Independence Day format like this prior to Kin sending me or getting me in touch with this individual. But I was just ecstatic to be able to bring this home. The color match here is just ideal. This red and white star border, and even a little bit of red and white here on the left border, it just fits perfectly with the Angels colors. And I love, if you've watched the channel, you know, I love team color matching cards. And again, like the combo card that we looked at a few moments ago, this one features, you know, two of my favorite players and two of the best players of the 21st century as teammates, shaking hands. Pacific Power is the title of the card, which I love. These guys play on the Pacific coast. Obviously, the Pacific Ocean is the ocean in between California and Japan. So Ohtani came from the Pacific as well. So there's a lot of meaning to this card. It's extremely patriotic. I love the Independence Day parallels just because of their kind of tie to baseball being America's pastime. I could go on and on. I want to try to keep this video from becoming extremely lengthy, so I'm going to wrap it up shortly here. But these are numbered every year to 76 copies for 1776, the year that our country was founded. And as such, this one is as well. So I have copy 34 of 76 on the back. Being from 2019, this is technically a second year Ohtani card, at least in a sense. And I just think finding a parallel that is this beloved from this early in the career of a player this significant with all these other attributes going for it, absolutely fell in love with this card. I have picked up many Shohei cards this calendar year and some prior. And out of everything that I've ever purchased, this is probably a top 3 Ohtani card in my entire collection. So again, huge thanks to Kin for putting the wheels in motion to get me in touch with the seller of this card. Could not be happier. And with that, we're going to come to the final card for today, a card that I am in love with. I have sent pictures and even a short video of this card to numerous hobby friends since it arrived earlier this week. I knew it would be amazing because I've seen these for other players, but until I had this one in hand, I just didn't appreciate just how amazing it was. So from the 2018 Bowman's Best release, which would be Ohtani's rookie year, this is a throwback to the 1998 Bowman's Best performers that were released 20 years prior. So this is like a retro throwback, and it is the Atomic Refractor. Check this puppy out. Look at that shine. There's a little bit of glare in here. We've got a lot of natural daylight, so I'm recording this video, but wow. I don't even know where to start. If you've tuned into the channel with frequency over the last few years, you know that I am a huge fan of anything atomic or sapphire. And this card is about as atomic as it gets. The entire background of the card behind Shohei is atomic or ice. Including the baseball inset here, which I think is a nice touch. You do get to see a little bit of the background from the photo, but you also see faintly some overlaid baseball stitching. So it's sort of a transparent baseball in the center that forms a cutout around the outer design, almost similar to 1959 Topps to an extent, but the shine on this is just unreal. Being from 2018, this is a rookie year card. It does have the RC logo here. I know this is not strictly considered a rookie card in the strictest definition or sense of the definition because it is an insert. and a parallel of that insert nonetheless. But wow, just a gorgeous, gorgeous rookie year Ohtani. These are not numbered. I do not know what the insertion ratio was for the atomic refractor. The base version of this is a refractor, and the silver around the border is a refractor material. Of course, this has the atomic element overlaid. The atomics are much tougher to find while unnumbered, as I said, and are not cheap. This is a card that I paid up for. This is the most expensive Shohei Ohtani card that I've acquired to date. Not that I spend a ton of money on Shohei. This was not over a $500 card or anything along those lines, but it was not cheap. But I stand by my purchase. I think, as I said earlier in the video, that this is not a bad time to be buying Shohei Ohtani, even though he's more expensive now than he's ever been, just because what he's doing is so historic. At the time that I'm recording this video, maybe a day or two before I get it posted, he is leading the league in home runs. He is leading the league in extra base hits, OPS, and even triples. And he has a handful of wins, an ERA right around 3, and he's racking up strikeouts like a madman. And I don't think it is hyperbole or over the top to say, I know there's a lot of baseball left, and I know anything could happen, and I know injuries and other things are always a risk. But if he is able to stay healthy and produce at even close to the rate that he has produced in the early portion of this season, or the first half, of this season, I feel like he will win his second MVP, and I feel like he has a chance to record the greatest individual season in the history of Major League Baseball. You heard that correctly, and I don't think I'm overstating that. So for that reason, I am all in clearly on Shohei Ohtani, and I'm very, very excited and thrilled to have these handful of cards in my collection to kind of bolster my Ohtani numbers a little bit and just add some variety and some colored parallels to this always growing collection that I have. And I have more Shohei cards to get to. This is not the extent of my collection, but I'm going to cut it for today because I tend to gab. We're probably approaching 20 minutes here between the intro and the cards, and I want to be sensitive to everybody's time. But I do have other Ohtanis that I will be showing in the future, so keep an eye out for that. For today, we'll stop it there, and I am just going to sit in amazement and bask in the glory of these awesome cards and this awesome player that we are very, very fortunate to be able to witness performing his craft as fans of the game. So thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. I hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday weekend. Stay safe. And as you know, I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Till then, take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody. See ya.